house? A few of them? Okay, well, see, I told you I'd get rid of the rain, right? Because the rain is like heck. Anyway, I'm glad you could all make it out here. And first of all, I'd like to ask, how many people have ever been to a real estate auction before? Okay, we have a couple people. How many people have ever bid at a real estate auction before? We have one, couple people. Are you registered to bid? Yeah. Okay, good. Then see, he's ahead of everybody. Okay, what I'm going to do here, first of all, I'm going to go over the terms and conditions of the sale and what information that we do have on the property. We'll address any questions that you might have on financing or anything like that that we can answer. And then we'll go ahead with the auction. And the highest bidder will, good luck. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to go over real quick the terms and conditions of the sale. The auction date, February 6, 1991. Time, 11 a.m. The broker is Century 21 San Tomas Auction Division. Now, a few of you are here represented by a broker, and then that broker or that agent that represents you will represent you throughout the transaction. It's just like a regular sale. If you're buying a house, we would be the listing agent, and your agent would be the selling agent. Okay, so they'll handle the contracts and things like that. Okay, I'm Steve Loudley. I'm your auctioneer. And right here is Rita Zek. She's Vice President of the Auction Division and my partner in the business. Terms and conditions are as follows. Prospective purchasers should inspect the property prior to the auction and review any pertinent documents. The sale is subject to confirmation. The seller will provide a standard CLTA title insurance policy for the buyer. The high bidder will be required to complete standard offer to purchase contract at the time of the auction, as well as other standard purchase contracts and documents. All prospective bidders must have a cashier's check or money order for $5,000 made out to themselves and a letter of pre-qualification from a recognized lender or broker. Balance due. Okay, now we've made a few, there are a few things that are different, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over those as I come across them, and anything said from the stand today will take precedence over what's already put in writing. We have balance due at closing within 30 days. Since this is a non-conforming property, it's a little bit different. We're going to go 45 days, or as required by lender. Okay. Buyers will be required to pay all usual and customary closing costs. A 10% buyer's premium will be added to the final bid and included in the total purchase price. Okay, what that is, that's standard among real estate auction companies and most auction companies across the country. And the way it works is, for example, if your final high bid is $300,000, then the contract price will be written up at $330,000. 10% of your high bid will be added to the contract. So, for example, if you feel the property's worth $300,000, then you should start slowing down your bid around $270,000, $272,000, around there, because then it will come to the full $300,000. Okay. Does anybody have any question about that? Yes. I spend it. Now, he asked what happens to the earnest money if it doesn't fly. I will get into the subjects and things like that in a minute, but if you don't qualify for the loan, it is based on loan approval. But if you just decide to change your mind, that's the only contingency is loan approval. Okay?
So if you don't get loan approval, you get the money back.
Right. Also, everybody that's put up the $5,000, if you are not the successful bidder today, then just come over and see us as soon as it's over, and you'll get your $5,000 back. You'll get your check back. If anybody, another important thing, sometimes we do have the instance where the final bidder is not able to qualify. Okay, in your bidder's kit, you have a backup bidder form. Okay, if you're real close, if you're bidding and somebody just outbids you, or even if you haven't been bidding at all, if you want to put in a backup bid, what it says is, please notify me immediately if the above property should become available for any reason. Put your name, address, and things like that. Okay, and put the property would be Arch Street. Now what happens is, if the final bidder does not end up being able to qualify, we will contact you. To date, that has happened maybe 2% of the time. Normally, We pre-qualify the people and everything, so normally we have a pretty good sale. Plus, the bidders pretty much are here serious and they know what they can afford. So that's what happens in the case of the backup bids. Now, the termite report has been done by D&M Termite Company. That's what we had done, and it shows approximately $15,000, a little over $15,000 worth of work that needs to be done on the property on Section 1 work. It also goes over Section 2, and they could call for more inspections and things like that. Now, the building, it's being sold as is. My suggestion on that is to assume the worst, because I don't want anybody to think that the property's in real top condition and then find out something later. So when you're doing your bidding, keep that in mind, that it is as is, and everything that we have disclosed, we've disclosed. Things that haven't been disclosed, like I said, assume the worst on them. That's the safest way for you to go on that. Now it is under the Berkley rent control. Okay, whee! And you should be familiar with that. I talked to them, and the registration has been, the unit registration has been paid up to date, because that's something that the buyer normally pays if it's behind, from what I've told. But that has been current. The only things against the property at this point, there's a loan, a privately held loan for $220,000 that's due in March, and that was an interest-only payment, and the whole thing is due. It is not assumable. I spoke with the lenders. They said that they would be willing to write a new loan on the property. They're San Jose. It's a San Jose company, and they base it basically on the property. They like the property, but not on the rents. And there would be about a 6-point loan fee on that to rewrite it. So I'm not selling that loan. But I did just talk to them, and if somebody was in real bad, wanted to get it done, they said a quick loan, 2 to 5 year call, interest only. Okay. Now, are there any questions so far?
What interest rate was that
13 and a half. Okay. They're all, you take 2? Okay. There are also, we talked to 2 lenders. One was Imperial Savings and one was Beneficial. And they quoted between 13 and 13.5% on a 10 to 15 year note. Okay. And that was only a couple points though, so that was a little bit easier. Okay. So, does anybody have any questions, first of all, about the property itself? Does anybody have any legal questions or anything like that? Any questions about the auction? Okay. Okay, on the property, 1530 and 1532 Arch Street, Berkley, California. Where are my bids? Okay, we have several starting bids. And the way that this works is the starting bid, the high starting bid will be the starting bid. We'll start at that, and feel free to bid as much as you want. Don't worry about bidding too high. If it gets too high, I'll stop you.
Is the seller bound by the highest bid?
Pardon me? Oh, okay, good. Because there is a loan on the property, and the type of loan it is subject to the confirmation. Okay, we'll know by the time we get out of here today. Okay, but it is because, for example, if it came in lower than the loans or whatever, we would have to negotiate with the bank. We'd have to work on that. Okay, so but chances are we will be able to. We will have confirmation right here today. Any other questions? Okay, the starting bids are starting on the lower end. Well, we have one of 2,000. 50,000, 80,000, 100,000, 100,000, 150,000, and 225. Okay, so we got 225. I got 225. We'll get 250. Anybody get 250 for it? I got 225. Anybody get 250? You want to get 250? Anybody get 250,000? What do you get 220? I got 225. What do you get 230? 225. Anybody get 230? What do you get 230,000? Anybody get 230? I got 225. Anybody get 230 for it? Anybody get 230? I got 225. I need 230. Anybody get 230? 230, 230. You want to get 227.5? Anybody get 227.5? I got 225. I need 227.5. Anybody get 227.5? Don't lose it. You want to get 227.5? Got a lot of land here. You want to get 227.5? Anybody get 227.5? I got 225. Anybody get 226? What do you get 226, sir? What do you get 226? Anybody get 226? I got 225. I need 226. Anybody get 226? Anybody get 226 for it? I got 225. I got 226. Thank you. 226 and now 7. 226, you're out. You want to get 227? What do you get 227? 226, we get 227. 227, you're out. You want to get 227? 226, 227. Anybody get 227? I got 226, 227. Anybody get 2? Don't lose it for $1,000. Anybody get 227? 227. I got 226. Anybody get 227? Anybody get $227,000 for it? We got it right there. 227 now 8. I got 227 now 8,000. You want to get 228? What do you get 228? 227, 228. All in, all in. You want to get 228? I got 227. I need 228. 227, 228. All in, all done. You want to get 228? I got 227, 228. All in. 228. Thank you. Now 229. I got 228. What do you get 229? What do you get 29,000? What do you get 229? 229. Thank you. Now 230. 229 now 30,000 now. You want to get 230? What do you get 230? You're out. You want to get 230? Anybody get 230? I need 230. I got 229. I need 230. 230, 230. What do you get 230 for it? 229, 230. Anybody get 230,000 for it? Anybody want to bid? 230. What do you get 230? 230. Thank you. 230. I got 230. 232 and a half. I got 230. What do you get 2 and a half? What do you get 232 and a half? What do you get 2 and a half? 230, 232 and a half. What do you get 250? What do you get 2 and a half? 230, 250. 232.5. What do you get 232.5? I got 230. What do you get 232.5? What do you get 35? Thank you. Now 35. I got 232.5. I need 235. What do you get 235 for it? 235. You want to get 235? No more off. 235. What do you get 35? 35. What do you get 235? I got 232.5. 235. 235 once. 232.5 twice. 235. Thank you. 235 now 237 and a half. We get this 7 and a half. We get 237 and a half. I got 235. We get 237.5. 37.5. 75. We get 237.5. We get 236. We get 236. I got 235 once. 235 twice. Third and final call. We get 236. 230. You'll never come that close again. I got 236. 237. 236. 37. We get 237. 237, you want me to get 237? 237, anybody get 237? What do you get 237, sir? I got 236, we get 237. 236 once, 236 twice, third and final call, 237, thank you, you did it to me again. 237, I need 230, I got 237 to 238. 237, $8,000, you got 238, thank you, now 39. I got 238, 239, what do you get 239? 239, 239. 238, you end up on me get 239 more all through, 239. 238 once, 238 twice, 239. 239 now 240. I got 239 now 40,000. Now you want to get 240 tomorrow? I'll give you 240. 239, 240, 240. Your turn. You want to get 240. 239, 240. 239, 40,000. Now you want to get 240. 239 once, 239 twice. Third and final call. 239. Looking for 240 guys. 240. I got 240 now. 41,000. You want to get 241? We get 241,000. 240, 241. You want to get 241? 241? You bought the Niners. You want to get 241? And 240. I need 241. 241. You want to get 241? 241. 240 once. 240 twice. Third 241. Thank you. I just started it now. I got 241. You want to get 242 once? 242 twice. Third and final call. I got 241. You want to get 242 and you're out. You want to get 242? Third and final call. 242. 242? Sold 241 right here. What's your bidder's number? Bidder number 305. want to thank everybody for coming out here. And what I'd like you to do, if you want to be on the mailing list for our future auctions,